When you picture Odin, you probably see a wise, noble king of the gods, a lot like he is in the movies. A dignified all-father, looking out over Asgard from a golden throne. But what if the Odin from Norse mythology was a far more complex and even sinister figure? A master of dark magic, a god who started wars for sport, and a trickster who used deception to get whatever he wanted. Today, we're tearing down the 10 biggest myths you still believe about the All-Father, and the truth is way more fascinating than any fiction. Myth number 10. Odin is a benevolent and honorable father figure. All right, let's kick things off with the biggest myth of them all, one that pop culture has really hammered home. We see Odin as this good and just ruler, the perfect model of a king. The truth is a lot murkier. The Odin from the original Norse sources is a morally gray character, to say the least. He's obsessed with gaining wisdom and power, but he couldn't care less about things like justice or fairness. He's the god of kings and chieftains, but he's also the patron god of outlaws. The ancient texts show us a master manipulator, a fickle god who uses cunning and deceit to win. He wasn't just a kind dad, he was a warmonger who brought death to the battlefield. Myth number 9. Odin is the god of thunder. This one's an easy mistake to make, mostly thanks to his incredibly famous son, Thor. When you think powerful Norse god, your mind probably jumps to thunder and lightning, and Odin often gets stuck with the title. But that domain of storms and thunder, that belongs entirely to Thor. Odin's worlds are totally different. He's the god of war, death, wisdom, poetry, and magic. While Thor is the straightforward hero protecting mankind with his hammer, Odin's power is more subtle and strategic. He's the master of prophecy and secret arts, not the guy making the sky roar. Myth number 8. Odin is always depicted as a muscular warrior. Once again, you can thank modern movies for the image of Odin as a jacked, armored-up warrior king. And while he is a god of war, his classic depiction isn't about physical strength. In the sagas, Odin is usually described as an older, gray-bearded man with one eye. He often wanders the realms in disguise, wearing a wide-brimmed hat to hide his face and a simple traveler's cloak. His power doesn't come from his biceps, it comes from his mind and his mastery of magic. He's a shamanistic figure whose real strength is his incredible knowledge and his ability to pull strings from the shadows. Myth number 7. Odin was universally worshipped by all Norse people. You'd think the king of the gods would be worshipped by everyone, right? Well, not exactly. Evidence suggests Odin was mostly the god of the elite, kings, poets, and the top-tier warriors. These were the people who cared about strategy, wisdom, and the glory of battle, all things in Odin's wheelhouse. The average farmer, on the other hand, was way more likely to worship Thor. Thor was seen as the protector of regular people, the one who made the rains come and kept the giants away. Archaeologists find way more Thor's hammer amulets than symbols of Odin, which tells us who was really the god of the people. Myth number 6. Odin is a just and lawful god. In most pantheons, the head god is a figure of law and order. In Norse mythology, that job actually belongs to the god Tyr. Tyr is the one who represents justice and the rule of law. Odin, on the other hand, represents power gained through might and magic. He's known to be fickle and to break rules. He's known to kick off wars, not for some just cause, but to watch the chaos and harvest the souls of the best warriors for his army in Valhalla. While people might appeal to him for victory or for a flash of poetic inspiration, he wasn't the god you prayed to for fairness. His motives are often impossible to figure out, and his methods can be downright devious. Myth number 5. Odin's eye. Sacrifice was a purely selfless act. You've probably heard the story of how Odin sacrificed his eye to drink from Mimir's well of wisdom. It's often painted as this noble, selfless act for the good of everyone. But that interpretation totally misses the point of Odin's character. His sacrifice wasn't about selflessness. It was about his bottomless, obsessive, and even selfish hunger for more knowledge and more power. Odin is defined by his willingness to pay any price for personal gain. This is the guy who hung himself for 9 nights to learn the runes. Giving up an eye was just another transaction, a price he gladly paid for ultimate power. Myth number 4. Odin is always in Valhalla, feasting with warriors. Valhalla, the Hall of the Slain, is where Odin gathers the greatest warriors, the Einherjar, to train for Ragnarok. It's easy to imagine him there 24/7, presiding over epic feasts. But while he is the Lord of Valhalla, the myths put a huge emphasis on him being a wanderer. Odin is constantly roaming the 9 worlds, usually in disguise, on his never-ending quest for more knowledge. He has his ravens, Hugin and Munin, Thought and Memory, fly across the cosmos to bring back news. But he also goes himself, always searching for an edge that might help him cheat his prophesied doom. Myth number 3. Odin is a single, consistent character. Trying to pin Odin down to one personality is basically impossible. He might just be the most contradictory figure in all of world mythology. The ancient texts give him hundreds of names, and each one shows a different side of him. He's the god of war and death, but also the god of poetry and inspiration. He's the patron of noble kings and also of outcasts. He even practiced a form of magic called cider, which was seen as unmanly in Norse society, right alongside being a terrifying war god. That kind of contradiction would have been shocking back then. He isn't one simple character. He's a bundle of chaos and inspiration. Myth number 2. Odin created the runes. This next one is a subtle distinction, but it's a really important one. Odin didn't create the runes. He discovered them. According to the poem Havamal, the runes already existed as a form of cosmic power. To get them, Odin performed a brutal ritual of self-sacrifice. He stabbed himself with his own spear and hung from Yggdrasil, the world tree, for 9 days and nights, staring into the abyss below. After this near-death ordeal, he took up the runes, finally understanding their secrets and power, which he then shared with humanity. This doesn't make him an inventor. It makes him a shaman who endured unimaginable pain to grasp a pre-existing cosmic mystery. Before we reveal the number 1 myth, if you're enjoying this look at the real All-Father, do us a favor and hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into mythology. What other Norse myths should we tackle next? Let us know in the comments. Myth number 1. Odin passively receives the dead. As a god of death, it's easy to think of Odin as a passive figure, just waiting around for his Valkyries to bring him the souls of dead heroes. But Odin is anything but passive. He is an active war god who doesn't just wait for battles to happen, he's out there starting them. The sagas describe him throwing his spear Gungnir over an army's head to dedicate the entire battle to himself, basically claiming all the dead before the first sword was even swung. He isn't just a collector of souls. He is a harvester. He actively messes with the outcome of fights to make sure the best warriors end up in his hall. He's a god of death, all right, a proactive, calculating, and terrifyingly grim one. So when you peel back the layers of pop culture, who is Odin, really? The gentle, honorable king is mostly a modern invention. The Odin from the myths is far more volatile, dangerous, and fascinating. He's a god of contradictions. Wisdom and war, poetry and death, nobility and deception. He is a ruler, a wanderer, a shaman, and a trickster, all rolled into one. The truth of the All-Father is that he's not meant to be easily understood, and that's exactly what makes him one of the most compelling figures in all of mythology. What part of the real Odin do you find most surprising? Let's keep the conversation going in the comments below. Thanks for watching.